The following featured presentation is part of the Skywalking Network.
This is what you can look forward to on this New Year's episode 446 of Skywalking Through Neverland.
I would have to say is probably my favorite year of fandom. Star Wars fandom.
As long as Daredevil and She-Hulk is also canon, I don't care about anything else.
Hashtag, I can do this all day.
I can't say enough about that event. It actually, in many ways, changed my life.
Shut up. Shut up and just enjoy the film.
Barbie.
Are you ready?
Welcome to Neverland.
Here we go.
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome. Disneyland is your land.
When I first made Star Wars, everybody in Hollywood said, well, this is a movie Disney should have made.
You're more than just fans. You're family.
Best day ever!
Secrets loud.
It's about family, and that's what's so powerful about it.
Hey.
When you use a bird to write with, it's called tweeting.
When we visit the world of Disney, we never grow old. It's a Peter Pan, Never Land that keeps us young in heart.
This is Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi, and you are skywalking through Neverland. I have a good feeling about this.
Happy New Year, Skywalkers! Oh, wait a minute. There we go. Now it's a Happy New Year. You can see my hat.
That is a cool hat.
Yes, it is.
Wow.
Well, we are back after a much-needed vacation, and we are raring to go. So we have so much to reflect upon, but first, we want to welcome you back to Skywalking Through Neverland. I am Richard Woloski, but now everyone please say hello to my sweetie wife, Sarah. The first time this year I get to announce you as my sweetie wife.
Oh, is that a special time?
It's always a special time with you.
Aw. Well, Happy New Year, Skywalkers. We're so delighted to have a new episode and a new year to talk and chat with you all.
Hold on.
Oh, yes.
If it's a new year, I have my new glasses.
Okay, perfect. Oh, nice.
Oh, wait a minute.
That says 2021.
Okay. What year is it?
It's what year is it, guys?
Wait a minute. I think I'm still behind a couple of years. Hold on.
Pierre Kelly says it's the afternoon of.
Hold on.
Of what?
Aha.
20.
Is this right?
This is right.
All right. See, I still can't keep my years straight.
Okay, everyone take a screenshot. That's really funny. Oh my gosh. I love it.
All right.
Let's do the show this way.
As you can tell, this is the show for hats, for top hats.
Oh, yes it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yes it is. All right. Well, it's also the show for your enthusiastic podcast destination for the many decades of your Star Wars, Disney, Marvel, and pop culture fandom. So it's time. It's time for your whole new year Wookiee hug from us and a little sprinkle of pixie dust to set you on your way for our family of Skywalkers. Now, we are live on the Skywalking Through Neverland YouTube channel, so if you haven't already, please subscribe for notifications, and also subscribing just really helps us because we just made it to 8,000 followers, subscribers.
No, 8,800. 8,800.
Oh, 8,800. Holy buckets. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we want to get to 9,000 by the end of this month. So,
or the end of this day, if possible.
Yeah, everyone subscribe.
You know what? And I'm willing to blow out my voice once again to make that possible. We did a whole lot of yipping and hollering and yipping.
Yes.
During the new year, so my voice has been shot.
All right. Well, in this episode, we are excited to go over what we thought of 2023. We had the highs, the lows, what may or may not have met our expectations, and so much more. We also invited some friends to join us. Melissa Miller from Star Warsologies, which can be found here on the Skywalking Network, and also Spencer Jawitz from the Virtual Cantina Network.
I think this is a good year to bring back Yippee.
Yippee?
Yippee.
Yippee! That makes me think of Anakin.
I know, which is why we should bring it back.
Are you taking off the glasses now?
Yeah, I can't see in those glasses. Here we go. Oh, now I can see.
Yes.
All right, now we are being sponsored by Small World Vacations, and they are a diamond-level Disney vacation planner travel agency that can help you book your trip to a Disney park around the world. And best of all, their service is free of charge. So head over there to smallworldvacations.com for a no-obligation price quote and tell them Skywalking Through Neverland sent you.
Now, we are recording this episode from Long Beach, California on January 10th, 2024. So, Richard, what happened today in Star Wars history?
I'm so happy that you asked because it was on this date 18 years ago. January 10th, 2006, the 32nd People's Choice Awards bestows 2 awards to Revenge of the Sith.
Ooh.
And these awards include Favorite Movie and Favorite Movie in the Drama category.
Wow, those are big awards.
Those are very, very big awards, which is why I always thought maybe the People's Choice Awards should be the new Oscars.
I know. It's what people like, what people watch, what real people watch.
Yeah.
Not just the Academy.
Back in 1980, when The Empire Strikes Back won the People's Choice Award, I thought that was the Oscar.
Oh, funny.
So for years, I thought, no, Ordinary People didn't win Best Picture for 1980. It was The Empire Strikes Back. I saw it with my own eyes. I saw something different. Now, Harrison Ford presents George Lucas with the award for the favorite movie.
The force is strong with this one. People's choice for favorite movie is Star Wars Episode 3.
And in his speech, Lucas says,
"This is a very, very important award for me. Star Wars, oddly enough, doesn't really get that many awards. And I'm not a big favorite with the critics, but, you know, who listens to them? The most important people for any filmmaker, the reason that I make films is for you."
Wow.
I know.
That is very nice, and it is important. Now, Star Wars does get a lot of technical awards.
I'm glad that now it won the major award.
Yes.
It's a major award.
You know, it seems like once a movie hits that pop cultural level, it's like looked down upon by the critics or the,
But as
people who
Lucas
give those
says,
awards.
who listens to them? I go to the People's Choice Awards. The MTV Awards are always big because they've bestowed so many awards upon the Star Wars prequels.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of awards,
Uh-huh.
last Saturday, January 6th, The Mandalorian Season 3 picked up a trophy for Outstanding Stunt Performance at the Creative Arts Emmy Awards.
So would that be an Emmy?
It would be an Emmy.
Okay.
But it's for the creative arts.
Okay.
Like, there's the major awards like Best Drama, Best Comedy, Best Actor.
Nice.
And then creative will be given out on this special award ceremony. So when you see on January 15th, when you see the Golden Globes,
Right.
you won't see any of these creative arts.
Or technical awards, probably, right?
Yeah,
The
exactly,
technical
yeah.
comes in that. Yeah, okay.
Exactly.
They do like a separate ceremony for those.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now, this is the 15th Emmy Award the Mandalorian has gotten.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of them have been in the technical side, but still, they're awards.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this is the Emmy committee sticking it to George Lucas. Yeah, you don't think that you get a lot of awards? Well, here, take some more.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we have to give a big shout out to Lateef Crowder, Paul Darnell, JJ Dashnaw, and Ryan R. Usaki, who they are the ones who received the award for their work on Chapter 24, The Return, in Outstanding Stunt Performance.
Yeah, so take that, George. Take another award for Star Wars.
Nice.
All right, with that, we got some things to talk about in Things We Want to Share.
Things we want to share. Things we want to share. Things we want to share.
Okay, well, yesterday, as we record this, was a big day for Star Wars news, and people had lots to say about it. So, Richard, a new Star Wars film is coming to a theater near us. So, this film is titled The Mandalorian and Grogu.
Which I'm hoping is a working title.
And it will be directed by Jon Favreau and produced by Jon Favreau, Kathleen Kennedy, and Dave Filoni. And they were basically, the news is that this film will go into production in 2024, so this year.
Now, at first, I thought this was the already announced Mando film.
Me too.
But they snuck in another film.
Yeah.
This is the second Mandalorian movie. So the other one that was announced at Celebration will be directed by Dave Filoni.
Right.
And this one here will be directed by Jon Favreau. And at first, I thought that they did a little switcheroo with the directors.
So did I.
Because they, in any of the press releases, they did not say this is the second Mandalorian movie.
No, they didn't make that clear at all. Yeah, and we got the press release direct to our email, so it wasn't clear. But everyone, including Variety, is stating that this is a new film on the roster.
Yes.
Which I am not surprised about because Dave Filoni recently got promoted to Chief Creative Officer of Lucasfilm. And so I feel like he's going to be in charge of the content that's coming out of the studio, and he has the right to change anything that has been previously announced, which is a lot of stuff that were previously announced and not happening. So the fact that this is going into production this year is great. I'm still holding my breath until it actually goes into production.
Yeah, but this is more now under the Filoni-Favreau umbrella, so chances are it's going to happen, and it makes a whole lot more sense if they're going to be shooting season 4 of The Mandalorian to also shoot a movie.
Right.
You can save millions on the production for the series and millions on production for the film if you shoot them both at the same time.
Well, just having the sets there that you don't have to rebuild.
And the actors and the crew.
Mm-hmm.
So this is going to be big.
Now, but I have a question though. Are they still having a season 4 of The Mandalorian? And Skywalkers, you answer this in the Sky Chat. What do you think?
Now, it didn't say.
No. Or is the movie taking the place of season 4 of The Mandalorian?
Yes. So these press releases, they were very light on details.
Yes. Yeah.
Or unless they're just assuming, well, we've already announced it, so we don't need to say it again. But it would be helpful so there wouldn't be so many misunderstandings.
Right. Right. And so what do you guys think, Sky Chat? We really want to know. I know that I was talking behind the scenes with Trisha Barr, and she thinks that there's not going to be a season 4 of The Mandalorian, that the movie is basically taking the place of that.
Yeah, I tend to think they're going to shoot both at the same time.
Okay.
And we may even get a shorter season of The Mandalorian, like 6 episodes.
Ooh,
that will lead into the movie.
That's possible.
That would make a whole lot more sense when you're talking budgeting.
That definitely would, because like, as we know, a lot of these series end with like the penultimate and the ultimate episode being kind of a 1-2 punch. So if that becomes a film and the rest of the story leading up to that becomes the series, that makes a lot of sense.
Right. So once again, these press releases were very light on details, so we gotta wait to see. But this news just came out all of a sudden.
Yes.
Why do you think that is? This is one piece of news that came out yesterday.
Okay. Well, before we go into that, Reynold is stating in the Sky Chat, he thinks, judging by the end of season 3, it's perfect for a Mandalorian movie. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bo-Katan is now in charge of Mandalore. There's a mythosaur on the loose.
Yeah.
So there's so much you can play with there.
Yeah. Okay, so you were saying, why did this film news suddenly come out?
Because there was another film that was heavily being promoted. Yeah.
The Rey movie, right?
Yeah, New Jedi Order.
Yeah, that too.
That's the film. That's the Rey film. Yeah.
Oh.
And there was a lot being said about that. Then all of a sudden, this news came out. Why?
Because there was some negative conversation happening about the Rey film, and so I think Star Wars needed to direct
the conversation
to change people's attention.
Like, okay, here's Grogu, everybody. Look, there's Grogu.
The Mandalorian and Grogu. I think they came up with that name like Sunday night. for the
Yeah.
film.
And once again, that's got to be a working title because that's just not a good title. But yeah, there's a lot of Raygate going on, and I shouldn't throw Ray under the bus for what the director is saying, but wow, Disney, stop being so woke. We get it. It hasn't worked out for you. Let's pull back on that. And I give Disney credit for going, okay, we recognize there's a problem. Let's show everyone, hey, we have something else over here for you to look at while we fix this problem. And I hope they do fix this problem. But while we have something else to look at, Lucasfilm, this is just conjecture on my part. I think that they're saying, but wait a minute, there's something else to look at. So let's ignore what the news has been up until now. Let's look at this news because Ahsoka season 2 was just confirmed.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so nothing else has been said about it. And it was one of these, are they not? I believe that there wasn't going to be a season 2 because we had this new movie coming out that was going to tie up all the Mandoverse stories. So why focus on a season 2 when you could put everything in the movie?
Right. But I'm excited that there's a season 2, and there's much more to do with Thrawn and the witches. Oh yeah, the Dathomirian witches. I'm excited.
Exactly. And now Sabine and Ahsoka are in this netherworld.
Yeah. They switched places.
Yeah.
They did a big old switcheroo.
So I'm excited for that. And sure, if you want to give me more Star Wars on TV, that is gonna be fantastic. All right, now if you're keeping track, coming up in the Star Wars feature film slate, all right, we have Lucasfilm has said that Mandalorian and Grogu, that film is going to take precedence.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So that film is going to be first to go into production, putting all their attention onto that.
Okay.
Which is good.
Yep.
Next, we have the Rey film, New Jedi Order.
Okay.
Then we have James Mangold's film, Dawn of the Jedi, which I don't think we're going to see.
Yeah.
After Dial of Destiny didn't really do so well at that box office.
Star Wars is very reactionary.
Very much so. And then after the Dawn of the Jedi, another film that was announced was the Mandoverse film. And this is the film that's directed by Dave Filoni.
And I guess it's going to mostly feature Ahsoka. I mean, that's kind of the...
Well, I think it all falls under the umbrella of The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to fall under the Mandalorian character and their culture, and everything else is going to wrap up in that.
I think it's going to focus more on the Jedi and Ahsoka and Sabine and Thrawn, personally. But Mandos are going to be involved. But I don't think they're going to be the main focus. Especially now if we have this Mandalorian and Grogu film.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll see. As we've seen, always in motion is the future.
Yes.
So that could change at any time. You're right, and they could go, okay, we did the Mandalorian and Grogu film, but if that film does like Force Awakens business,
right,
then the Mandoverse movie will be about the Mandalorians.
Right.
So who knows? We're open for change.
Yes.
Sure, it's their universe. We're just playing in it.
Okay.
So whatever they want to do, I'm there for it.
So these 4 films are like the current ones that
these,
Star Wars is behind right now.
Yes.
Okay.
These are the ones that they're putting all their attention into.
Okay.
All right, but then we have this Sean Levy film, and right now Sean Levy is busy doing Deadpool 3.
Who's Sean Levy?
He's the director of the Deadpool movies.
Okay.
And Night at the Museum.
Oh.
And he's got another 1 or 2 films before he can get to Star Wars, but now he's got time. Okay. He's got time, but we've met a friend of Sean Levy a few months ago, and according to him, Sean Levy is still working on this Star Wars film. So I think it's going to happen.
Okay, just
but not for a while. Then we have the Taika Waititi film, and he's
That's
already
not
said
happening.
that's so far in the future, even if it does happen.
Right.
And then the Dark Horse, the Rian Johnson trilogy, which Lucasfilm still has not canceled.
Right.
It has not said we're not going to do it. I think they're just going to hope as time goes by, people will forget about it.
Yeah. that's not happening.
We both know it's not going to happen.
Right.
Everyone knows it's not going to happen because of the backlash from The Last Jedi. They'd be foolish to put Rian Johnson ahead at the helm of a Star Wars trilogy. All right. Then there's the Lando movie.
What? I think some of these movies that were announced, I don't even like give my attention to because I feel like they're going to be gone.
Exactly.
So I don't even remember this.
Right. So I think of all the films that were announced at Celebration, plus the Mandalorian and Grogu feature film, I think the two that's going to fall off the schedule will be Dawn of the Jedi and New Jedi Order, because what's going to happen? The director,
Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy.
She's going to have to lead the project because of creative differences. And they'll bring in Nia DaCosta from the Marvels.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
Wow.
Yes. Because as far as I remember, she doesn't have an agenda. She just goes into a film like, I'm going to make a great film.
And then Kamala Khan's going to become part of Star Wars and everything will be all right.
Yes.
All right. Well, with all that, Skywalkers, we want to know what you think. What films do you think are going to come out? What are you looking forward to? Let us know in the comments. And now let's review the year that was 2023 and the year that is 2024.
2023 was filled with so many unexpected moments, exciting series, superhero fatigue, and Barbie.
Joining us in our annual year-end wrap-up and look ahead into 2024 is Melissa Truth from Star Warsologies and Spencer Jawitz
from the Virtual Cantina Network, and there they are.
Woo!
Hey, everyone.
Hey.
Hey.
So happy to have you two with us. We know that you've had quite a year in fandom. We're big fans of yours.
Well, thank you.
We follow everything you do.
Aw.
Whether you know it or not, we know when you're sleeping. We know when you're awake.
Yeah,
we know when you've been bad or good. So you know what? It's a whole new year. So the rest of the year is up to you, whether you want to be good or not.
Well, dank Ferric.
Wow, starting it off right.
Yeah. Each a two. He beat me to it. All right, now let's start off with this question here. Where does 2023 fall in your favorite year of fandom?
Let's see. Let's go with Spencer.
I would have to say it's probably my favorite year of fandom.
Wow.
I would have to say Star Wars fandom, it could not have been higher in my estimation.
Yeah, all right, I see that. All right, and how about you, Melissa?
That's probably true for me if we're talking Star Wars fandom, because I did get to go to Star Wars Celebration in London sort of last minute this year, and that was just an amazing time. I got to meet some of the people who work at Pinewood Studios, which was super awesome, and do some panels and stuff like that. So that's going to be hard to beat, though I'm going to try in 2025 with Japan.
Yeah, 2023 was a banner year, not just for Star Wars, but for every kind of fandom, really. So what about you, Sarah?
I'm trying to think. So I remember 2015 being a huge year of Star Wars fandom, and I think this really kind of, it's pretty much, it's up there. I don't think it's quite as high as 2015, but very close. But I say for Disney fandom, it was 100 years of the Walt Disney Company. So it was very fun to participate in a lot of events, either at Disneyland or at the Walt Disney Studios, or just do some things in regards to that. So I really thought that was fun. It's hard to quantify, though, at this time.
I know. That's why I put the tough questions up front.
Yeah. What about you?
The rest of it is just a breeze.
Yeah.
For me, I would say it's way up there. Because we got Ahsoka. How long have we wanted to see a live-action Ahsoka series? And we got that. I loved Mandalorian Season 3. I love the direction they're taking it. It wasn't what everyone wanted it for. They wanted to see more Din Djarin. We didn't get it, so I'm going to be happy with Bo-Katan. All right. I can't change it, so I'm going to be happy with it. And they did a great job with that storytelling.
It was fun.
Yeah, the fact that we didn't get a chance to go to Celebration London just kind of knocks it down a couple of pegs.
Unfortunately.
All right, Jeff Caffrey's going to swoop in and says, don't worry, be happy. See,
it's the right attitude to have about Star Wars, I think, Richard. I came to that realization, I think, with the sequel trilogy. And it's like, even if this isn't for me, it's for somebody, and I'm having a good time.
Well, think about it like this. We had to wait 16 years for new content back in the old days before the Empire, as they say.
Yeah.
And now we never have to wait again. So
Nope.
enjoy it. Oh, thanks, Lila.
Lila's chiming in with Spencer was a wonderful guide to all the fun in London. So yeah, amazing.
All right, now let's get down to the nitty gritty. What was your favorite fandom highlight?
And this could be Star Wars. This could be Disney. This
Yeah,
could
any
be
one of your
Marvel, or
fandoms.
Yeah.
As long as it's not Lord of the Rings or sports or politics.
But it could be Star Trek.
Oh, of course, yeah. As long as it's not Lord of the Rings or politics or sports. You start talking and my eyes will glaze over.
That's really funny. Well, I kind of already covered mine with Celebration. I got to run an amazing panel with Fawn Davis, formerly of ILM, and then 3 of the people who work for Pinewood. And it was the biggest room I've ever moderated a panel in. It was, definitely the biggest guests I've ever gotten to interview. And it was a great room. Like, everyone was on the edge of their seats. We had some amazing questions. And it was just like a perfect hour, just living in the fandom for me.
And that episode can be found on Star Warsologies podcast.
That's right.
Is that correct? Yeah,
Yep, that's right. We have that episode there. I think the panel was called Making Star Wars Magic or something like that. So you can watch it.
I'm going to go in a different direction. Instead of a personal favorite moment, I'm gonna just go with just a favorite fandom moment. Okay, then we'll go back and forth between all of them because we have fandom moments and personal fandom moments. But for me, my favorite fandom moment was going to see The Mandalorian season 3 at the El Capitan in Hollywood. That was just incredible. We saw 2 episodes up on the big screen, and just seeing those Purgles. You see those Purgles fly by Grogu and the N1 Starfighter, and everyone in the theater erupted. And I'm like, okay, I'm with my people. These are my peeps right over here. When they can cheer at that, it was great. At the same time, afterwards, we went to an after party, met up with Hal Hickel, and my opening line is, "Hey, I know Spencer Jawitz."
That might get you kicked out of most places, but I'm glad that one works.
Yeah, and Hal Hickel, he is an animation supervisor, visual effects supervisor on The Mandalorian. A fantastic guy, just so many great stories.
Yeah. We had him actually on our watch along this past Thursday for episode 1 of Ahsoka, and it was absolutely incredible having Hal back on the show again.
Oh, great. So I'm going to say that and the Ahsoka fan event.
Hey, how do you get 2?
Because no one stopped me.
Because it's my show and I can do 2 if I want to. Is that it?
All right. You know what? I will, unless Melissa had a second one now. She wants to throw in there.
No, I only prepared one so that everyone would get a turn to talk.
You know what? Then I'll say the fan events.
Okay.
Fan events. Then I can name 2.
Okay,
the
fine.
Mandalorian fan event and the Ahsoka fan event, where we got a chance to see the first 2 episodes, or was it 3, of Ahsoka?
Ahsoka, just the first 2.
The first 2, that would make more sense. Yes.
Because the first one ends with what's
Sabine,
her name getting stabbed.
Yeah, that's true, yes.
Yes.
And that was a great time, because once again, you're seeing Star Wars up on a really big screen, great sound, with fans.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them had Leku on, which was good, except if one were sitting right in front of you. It's like, can you hold those back, please?
That's right. Yeah. That's funny. Watch out.
Yeah. All right, Spencer, you're up. Name 3 or 4. Let's take Sarah off, okay?
Hey.
Ooh. Someone wants the couch tonight. I would have to say it's a fan event as well, but I'm going to say I got to go to the episode 5 of Ahsoka fan event to see the Battle of Mandalore, as well as the Clone Wars and the World Between Worlds up on the big screen.
That's incredible.
And that was incredible itself. It was, everything you could have wanted. You could have heard a pin drop, because it was all Star Wars fans captivated and salivating, and the right places where you wanted them to cheer, they cheered. But the one the gasp, they gasped. And that event was catered to us. It was just absolutely incredible being there with, Star Wars fans that, drove in from around New England to go to this one event in the North Shore of Boston, and that was just absolutely incredible.
Wow, just to see that Clone Wars scene, we would drive all the way over there to what Braintree was it? You saw it?
Massachusetts.
I actually saw it in Somerville, so I was on the North
Somerville.
Shore.
Okay. We would drive from here to Long Beach to Somerville just to see that one Clone Wars segment up on the big screen.
Yeah, that was absolutely insane. It was incredible, and just that episode, I would have to say. I mean, I know that they said that episode 8, the Jedi, the Witch, and the Warlord, was probably one of the best episodes of any fandom of the year. But going to that one episode when you finally got Anakin back and seeing Anakin as basically Hayden playing Matt Lanter was just like.
That's true. Yeah.
Okay, let's make a
Way
note.
to call
Not to share this with Hayden Christensen, okay?
Well, he had the hair, he had the outfit, he actually his voice dialect, he actually modified that a little bit so there would not be like a continuity issue, even though he's playing the live action version of that. So I thought that that was Matt, and he was giving his homage to Matt, just like Matt gave his homage to Hayden, and it was just like the best of both worlds.
And meanwhile, Matt Lucas is out there going, guys, what about me? Come on. Matt Lucas was the voice actor for the Clone War, the Genndy Tartakovsky Clone Wars.
Got it.
And he's like, guys, hello? Can I come in? Can I play?
Did Spencer pause?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, okay.
I don't think.
Well, then you get to go, Sarah.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Spencer. Spencer's paused.
We're getting a something in the Sky chat. Hayden Christensen says, "Blast you, Spencer! Blast you!"
He's been censored.
Yeah, no, it's not our connection. It must be Spencer. Okay, Carbonite. Oh my gosh. Uh-oh, says Jeff.
Spencer, do this.
Bryce.
Right, exactly.
Sorry, Spencer. Might have to regroup. Okay.
All right.
My favorite fandom highlight was Rogers the Musical at DCA. I happened to go to opening day and the second day and had just an amazing experience. I got there at rope drop just to try to get those tickets where you could get front row seats, and got to do that with my friends, Courtney and Kelly Turkel. And there was just like this little slice of Broadway at Disneyland, and it was so exciting to be there that, for the opening, because you could also see the suits were all there too, like all the people who had created the series. And I got to talk with like the general manager of Disneyland, like he was like hanging out of operations, and he was hanging out like just observing. He had this Captain America shirt on, and I just started talking to him about the whole like what it took to get this ready. And it was really fun because it was like all these mostly women who are all dressed to the nines like Broadway, but they're at a day
Steve
at
Rogers,
DCA.
Steve Rogers, look over here, Steve Rogers.
Exactly. And it was like this dapper day kind of with all of us dressed in like fun dresses, but that were superhero-y. So that Venn diagram of people who are super into musicals and super into superheroes were there, and I am one of those people, and it was amazing.
Yeah, and she's been playing that soundtrack pretty much every single day.
Well, and your enthusiasm for that, like I already was excited about it. We never go to Disneyland in the summer because like we know better, right? But I was like, well, if they're only playing the summer, I guess I'm going to Disneyland this summer. And you gave me like behind the, the tips, like, oh, get there at this time and pay the extra to get the, assigned seating or whatever.
Right.
And yeah, I had such a good time at that. It was just for me. I love musicals. I love superhero stuff, and I also love silly jokes that then they double down on. Right. So the fact that like that silly scene in Hawkeye,
yes. Oh my gosh.
It became a reality. Just made me so happy.
Yes. And it was 30-minute musical, but like all the beats were there. The emotion was there. I was so surprised at how emotional it was. And it really got me nostalgic for those first 10 years of Marvel films when it was less complicated.
Yeah. No multiverses.
Right. And I don't think I'd actually tracked the progression of that line too, right? Like the big number is that I could do this all day.
Yes.
And I hadn't really ever realized just how often he says that, right? He says it when he's a shrimpy, kid. He says it, and they have Captain Carter say it even in one of the movies. It's just like, mwah, chef's kiss.
Yeah. And Jeff is
Welcome
saying
back,
that
Spencer.
Yeah. I don't think he's quite back yet, but
still frozen.
All right.
Jeff is saying that Rogers the Musical is awesome, and I'm usually not a fan of musicals.
I'm like Jeff.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of musicals, but I really liked Rogers the Musical.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and Spencer is back. Hey, Spencer, good timing.
Hey, sorry about that. Sorry about that.
No problem.
All right, another one of our big fandom moments was when we had Leilani Shu on the show again. And oh, look, there she is again.
Hi,
there
Leilani.
she is.
Hi.
Hey, Leilani Shu, we love
timing.
you. All right, now let's get on to the personal highlights in your fandom. And Melissa kind of already did hers with the Comic-Con panel, which was great. But if you know what, if you want to throw in another one, I'm sure Sarah will be very happy with that.
No, that's okay. I clearly misunderstood the difference between the personal and the fandom of it all. So I will defer.
Okay.
All right.
No problem.
All right, then that was a big enough one for both categories then.
That was a really awesome highlight, though. Amazing.
Yeah. All right, Spencer. Personal highlight in your fandom.
I would say Boonta Eve, London. Easily. The fact that we were able to pull it off at a really great location, literally a 30-second walk from not only the Canary Wharf tube stop where they filmed Rogue One, but literally around the corner from the bridge for the ISB building from Andor. So really the whole, we could have picked a better location. Completely sold out. Line outside the door. We were able to let more people in. 16 signers. A performance by Blues Harvest and Darth Elvis as a surprise guest. Incredible fandom. It was everything and anything I could have ever wanted in an event that I didn't think we'd ever be able to pull off, and we did in spades. And I can't say enough about that event. It actually, in many ways, changed my life.
Wow.
But it wasn't as good as the one in 2022, right? No.
Each one gets better. Anaheim was good. This one is better, and what we have planned for 24 is even better than that. So I'm pretty stoked about the future, and it's all because of the momentum we actually built in 22. But 23, like I always say, my favorite racer, my favorite Boonta is the next one. So 23 London was a life changer for me personally. So I can't say enough good things about it.
Well, we were living vicariously through you.
Yes.
Well, thank you.
That's amazing.
And that was awesome. All right, Sarah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, I think a lot of you are doing more Star Wars things, so I'm going to go to the Disney side.
Okay.
And because this was that 100 years of Disney, because of the movie Wish, Richard and I got to go to the Walt Disney Animation Studios. We got to tour Walt's actual office that he used for 20 years. We did an ADR session with engineers there. We drew Star with a Disney animator. It was just this amazing experience to be able to do that and just immerse ourselves in that, Disney animation experience.
Amazing.
It was so cool. And the history just surrounding you, I get chills just thinking about it even now.
I was walking into Walt's office, and like an hour later, they're like, "Okay, everyone, we gotta leave." No, we're not leaving. I'm sorry.
We kept asking the curator more and more questions. He's like, "Keep them coming. This is so awesome."
Yeah,
we're all journalists. Yeah.
I want to know the history behind every one of those books.
Mm-hmm.
And lo and behold, he told us the history of every one of those books.
Yeah.
We walked outside. It's like it's night.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Awesome.
amazing.
All right, I'm gonna say for me, I'm like Melissa. The panels we did this year were just my personal highlights for me. The one at Comic-Con, we did the Star Wars Trivia Challenge Strikes Back. This was unbelievable. This was so much fun. And to do a trivia challenge at a convention, it can be hit or miss. most times people are like, oh, I don't want to. Oh, I can't get up there. But not at Comic-Con.
Yeah,
Not at Comic-Con at all. At first, we looked out into the audience where we were doing our introductions, and we had a great packed audience. And then we told everyone, okay, line up if you want to be a contestant. I turned around to do something. I looked back, and there's no one else in the audience. Like, where'd they go? What did I say? I'm sorry, but they were all lined up to be contestants.
Yeah.
And Sarah was so great at the technical stuff and getting the bits and the video and the pictures online, because our trivia shows have a ton of moving parts. A ton.
Aww.
At Long Beach Comic-Con, we did another Star Wars trivia challenge, which was really fun. But we also did the classic Marvel Star Wars comics panel live.
For the first time?
For the first time, yes.
Which was really fun.
And we just put that show out. I think it's like episode 442, I want to say.
444. Yeah, one of those. Most recent one.
Look for Death Probe.
Yeah.
And that was really fun to do that, where we could have this big giant screen and everyone in the whole auditorium could see all the panels. Mm-hmm. And we got a lot of comments like, wow, we haven't seen this issue since 1980. And just the way we can connect with those panels, the way we did back when we were kids. And you always love to hear those comments from people, like how they connected with you and the panel. They just bring a tear to my eye. And then just a few weeks ago, Wait,
you have a third one?
It all goes under panels, okay?
Oh, okay.
See how I snuck that in there? Oh, wait a minute, hold on. Jeff Caffrey was there. He said Long Beach was fun. It was. That's right. It was a lot of fun.
I think I got to try that convention this year.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was fun, and you can get around pretty easy.
Still my first answer.
Okay.
But in 67 parts. All right, and LostCon. We just did a couple of weeks ago, and we just released that video a couple of days ago. It's a pop culture trivia challenge strikes back. Nice. And this was so much fun because when people get into it, it really brings out the best of you, because you know all that work you've done is all paying off. It's like, is that how the HR Puffin Stuff song went? Oh my goodness. Wait a minute, the Brady kids were how old?
Oh, yeah.
Wait a minute, Tiger was the name of the dog. Okay.
Nostalgia.
Yeah, so the conversation you get going there is just a riot.
Yeah.
All right. Sarah, do you have any more? I bet you do.
Okay. Do you? Okay.
Okay.
If anybody else has more, let us know. So, yeah.
You have a second one, really?
I do.
I only had one, but in 3 parts. But you have I'm sorry, everyone. Go ahead.
Okay,
Go
so
ahead.
I have to dial it back to Star Wars Day, May the 4th, because this was a day we were looking forward to, but we weren't really, we had a lot to do that day. So we started out in the very early morning being interviewed on morning TV on a local ABC channel. So we actually had to drive to the studio very early in Glendale.
And I worked in news studios before, and it's wall-to-wall crew. This time, wall-to-wall droids.
Oh, yeah, it was so weird.
The cameras were all motorized. You had one weather girl way in the back. And everything, there was no stage manager or anything, which is kind of freaky.
It was just the guy who's interviewing us on stage, and then teleprompters everywhere. Very odd. Yeah. But so that we got to do that. Then we went down to Disneyland and happened to run into a ton of people we knew, because it's May the 4th at Disneyland. So you go into Star Trader or you go to Galaxy's Edge and bam, bam, bam. It's all these people you know, which was amazing. And then we left there to host a May the 4th trivia event, Star Wars trivia event at our local library. And it was just one of those 50-hour Gary Marshall days.
Yeah.
Where it just keeps going and going, and it was awesome.
Okay. We'll let that one slide.
See, I got to do 2 of them.
Yes.
Yay.
I mean, I have 9 answers for all of these, but I also know there's a dozen questions.
Yeah.
Well, yes, Melissa did a lot of panels
I told in the beginning, we're really excited about this episode, so we got a lot to say. All right.
Let's get into our next question here. And everyone in the Sky Chat, feel free to answer in the comments. What film were you looking forward to most in 2023, and did it fulfill your expectations?
Spencer, what do you got?
Okay, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, I think, was my personal favorite movie of the year. We actually got to see the big chase scene during opening panel at Celebration. in London. So that was pretty awesome. With James Mangold and Phoebe there, and also the guy who played Werner. He was Mad Mikkelsen.
Oh,
was
Mads
there.
Mikkelsen, yes.
Yeah, he was there as well. And
Galen
then
Erso.
Yes, Galen Erso. And they also got they piped in a pre-record from Harrison as well. And honestly, I felt that movie, the way that they colored it, felt like you were watching on 35 millimeter film. Like they colored it like Raiders. Like I was just like very much transported to my childhood again, watching Indiana Jones on the big screen and being enthralled in the storyline. And it wasn't just the fact that they de-aged Harrison that well. Just the way the film ran was a early Spielberg Raiders Last Crusade type of adventure. It was just absolutely. I can't say enough, and I watched it many times on Disney Plus since. So
nice,
good deal.
Well, Richard, do you want to bounce off that?
All right, I had the same answer.
Yeah,
Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, and yes, like you're saying, seeing the first 15-20 minutes with a de-aged Harrison Ford,
awesome.
It was like being 12 years old again.
Right.
Because the one thing that Raiders really did well with it was the shadowing. Raiders really had that hard shadowing, which they brought back for this film. And for me, I love watching lighting in films. One of my passions. I love it. But not only did they get that right, but Harrison Ford de-aged. It's like if you had told me this was film they had shot back in 1980 when they shot Raiders, like of course it is. Look at it. It's perfect.
Right.
And we were watching it at the world premiere, which was really exciting because there was Harrison Ford up on stage, George Lucas and Spielberg, and
John Williams.
Then John Williams shushed me. The curtain goes up, and all of a sudden there's John Williams, and I'm like, yeah! Turns around like. And when John Williams tells you to shush, you shushed.
Yes.
So yes, that was perfect. I really loved seeing another Indiana Jones film. And to anyone who's going to go, oh no, that didn't look real. Shut up. Shut up and just enjoy the film.
It wasn't like we were watching Scorpion King. It was much better than that. So.
Oh my god!
Wow, if that's the bar, man.
All right, Melissa, we want to know about you. What film were you most looking forward to?
For me, it was Fast X. If you're a listener to Star Warsologies, you know that I've done other episodes about Fast and Furious science, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Very loose science. I love that franchise. I love everything Fast and Furious. And so I was really excited. I mean, 9 is ridiculous. Spoiler alert from a movie that came out like 4 years ago. They go to space. And so I was like, how do you escalate, car chases when you've been to space? And I don't know. I don't know that they did, right? I was like, time travel, maybe a musical episode, you go to the moon because you've already been in orbit. They didn't do any of those things in Fast 10. But they still did a really good job. Jason Momoa knocks his performance out of the park. If you haven't seen it, go see the first 9 movies and then see it. They're so good.
Because if you walk into this one, you'll be so lost. If you haven't seen the
previous
previous
God,
ones.
You will have no idea. Yeah, exactly. Like, don't show up to the 11th movie in a franchise and without some context.
But here's the ultimate cliff note. It's about family. That's all you need to know.
If only that were in the trailers so we would know.
I know. Oh, okay. Yeah. I saw the other one.
Now, it's funny, when Melissa said Fast X, I'm like, is that like a new Twitter thing?
Oh, yeah, I didn't even think about that.
You know what? To be fair, I have watched Fast and the Furious, the second one, whatever that, Fast and Furious 2. And I really enjoyed it.
Too Furious.
That one. And I really enjoyed it. Like, it was very good. So I can see how it has become this massive franchise. That's the only one I've seen. But yes.
Yeah.
All right. Before I go, I'm going to just bring up Aaron's comment here. He said, I was looking forward to a disturbance in the Force, and it almost delivered. I just wanted more Christmas in the Stars, Bon Jovi, Kenny G content.
Here.
Nice one, Aaron.
Yeah, we needs to be like a whole a Star Wars Christmas mashup. Then you could get a Christmas in the Stars in there. Because we all know that Anthony Daniels loves talking about early Star Wars projects that didn't hit.
Yeah.
All right. Nick Werner says in the Sky Chat, I want to see Mario Brothers in theaters, but I never did. So I'm waiting for it to return to theaters.
Nick, we just saw that. And if you're a fan of Mario Brothers or like played the games, it is so cute. Like they did such a good job.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's one I watched at home, and it was fine.
Yeah.
You don't have to see it on the big screen.
I watched it at home too. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really connect with it.
Well, I can see how you wouldn't connect, but it hit all the little beats if you know the game.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah, they had like a Space Invaders or Pac-Man movie. Like I'd be right there.
Richard, we're waiting for the Pong movie, okay? So,
oh yeah, Pong and Battle Zone.
yeah, there you go.
Also, my favorite part of the Mario movie, which is that I just found out that Peaches the song is nominated for a Golden Globe tomorrow, and I hope it wins because literally the only line I believe is Peaches, 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 and the fact that that's nominated is just amazing.
That's funny. All right, I'll share mine just as soon as I share Sherry's comment here. Wonka. It delivered for her just a delightful prelude to the Gene Wilder classic. Oh, I'm excited to see that. I have not seen that yet.
The best part about Wonka was the top hat.
All right.
I knew you were going to say it.
All right. I have like 3 movies down here, but I'm going to pick one right now. No, I'm going to pick one because the movie I was most looking forward to in 2023, I think I'm going to have to boil it down to the Marvels. I was very much looking forward to the Marvels. I loved Captain Marvel when it came out, and I just love that whole Kamala Khan, just all these 3 women coming together. And for me, this movie was so fun. It was just so fun. And I had come into that movie loving Captain Marvel the most. I came out of that movie with Kamala Khan like shooting to like the top of my list.
Easily, she stole the movie.
She's amazing.
Yeah.
Not only did she steal the movie, she stole Marvel.
Yeah. Oh, totally. And if she becomes the next, if she becomes the next like Peter Parker, bringing in all the young ones to Marvel, like I'm here for it. I'm so excited.
Yeah. And in my opinion, one of the best movies of the year.
Yeah.
I love the Marvels.
Yeah, I actually had to go between, I was going back and forth between Indy and the Marvels, and I was like, and I'd actually put Guardians 3 up there too. I thought that was pretty damn good, but Indiana Jones was for me.
Yeah.
Guardians was a little too sad.
Marvels was also, agreed with Guardians.
Yeah,
too sad.
I just
can't watch that again.
Seeing animal cruelty just breaks my heart. I just can't.
We watched it once again when it came out on Disney Plus, and it's like, okay.
Yeah.
All right, we got through it.
I know if they do a super cut without all those scenes, I'll watch it again, but like I can't watch them again.
But the humor was there, and that's what really matters for these Marvel films, because they really pinpoint the humor, and they hit it every time. All right, Aaron is challenging us to do a 5-hour show. All right.
We gotta have like some intermissions or something at least.
We can do a 5-hour show, believe me, with the notes that I have. Make it 6. Get comfy.
Oh my gosh.
No, the Marvels was also my number 2 movie when I was choosing for that.
Oh, good.
So I was like, should it be the Marvels? And good choice, Sarah.
I'm glad I chose it.
Yeah.
All right.
Very, very much so. And this I'm sure this is a movie that people are gonna see like 5 years later and go, why were people bashing on this movie? It's so good.
Oh, the Marvels?
The Marvels,
It's
yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was really upset because I went, I think, like Monday or Tuesday after it came out, and me and my husband and my dad were the only people in the theater.
Aww.
And I was like, this is such a bad deal for a Marvel movie, right? That's not true for the first month of, the other ones.
Yeah.
And I was really bummed to see that, but it was a great movie.
Yeah. It really was. I think they would have benefited from moving it out of 2023 because it was just so much superhero fatigue that why put one more film into that target,
that roster.
Yeah. Right in the crosshairs.
Yeah. Well, the thing is now we only have one movie this year with Deadpool 3. Thank you. But they could have said, we're going to even out the next couple of years, because they have shows for Disney Plus in the can already. They're pushing it off a couple of years, a couple of other projects. They could have done that with the Marvels very easily.
Yeah. And this
Or
year,
people could have just gone and seen it.
Yeah.
this year, Sony's got 3 superhero movies coming out.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they got Kraven the Hunter, Madam Web, and a Venom 8, 9, or X. I don't know.
So are they getting the Sinister Six out there? I
Yeah,
guess?
yeah.
Okay.
So they're superhero but super villains, and then we get the Joker too. So that'll hopefully counter. And Deadpool kind of falls into the anti-heroes.
Yeah, but think about this. Deadpool comes out same weekend as San Diego Comic-Con this year.
Oh
boy.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh.
How did that happen?
Oh, man.
So if you have Ryan Reynolds running around the floor or Hall H, you know why. He's promoting his movie. So
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he and Hugh Jackman.
And Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds will be like, "Hey Hugh, you wear the Deadpool mask. I'll wear the Wolverine mask. We'll fool everybody."
Yeah.
fantastic. But yeah, that weekend alone, I mean, we have a lot of talk about that weekend alone in itself, but the fact that Deadpool's coming out the weekend of Comic-Con is just couldn't have been more perfect, really, if you think about it.
Yeah. I mean, Barbenheimer was Comic-Con weekend this last summer. It was just the strikes, no one was there.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
it'll be, I predict, the biggest opening for a superhero film since Endgame.
Mm.
You don't think since Far From Home, when they had all the Spider-Man?
I think it'll even be bigger than that.
Okay.
People love Deadpool, and they love Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, and having Wolverine come into the MCU.
Well, it is probably rated R though, right?
Yeah.
I was about to say the
already
rated
out.
R thing.
So it's
is
gonna be the first. It's the first rated R movie under the Kevin Feige brand, which is awesome. But we can't discount as well. The first rated R Marvel Disney Plus show comes out next week.
Oh.
With
Yeah.
Echo.
With Echo, yeah.
Okay.
All right, so hopefully that'll turn people's heads.
Yeah.
Well, they just announced the other day during the presser that everything that happened in Daredevil season 1 is canon for Marvel. So as brutal as Kingpin is, that happened. So they're going to go and match that brutality.
Well, they would have to. They can't step back, or they would be slaughtered again.
Yeah.
They've got to match that.
Okay.
As long as Daredevil and She-Hulk is also canon, I don't care about anything else because
yes,
that I don't remember if that was 2023 or not, but that
was that was a great matchup. Those two, yeah.
Yeah, just put Daredevil back in his red costume, and we're there.
Yeah, very.
But does Megan Thee Stallion really need to be Marvel canon, though? Could we just go there?
No.
Yes.
No, she doesn't.
Wow, we got to rewatch that show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Asterisk, I love She-Hulk.
It was fun.
Yes.
All right, but Hunter Reed, well, he would love to see Moon Knight 2.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, but let's go into what TV shows did we binge in 2023. Melissa, we're going to start with you.
Football is Life, Ted Lasso. If you haven't seen Ted Lasso, watch Ted Lasso tonight. Get off this live stream right now and just go watch Ted Lasso.
Or afterwards. it's streamed. Not like the old days where you had to be there at 8 p.m. Oh, wait a minute.
Wait a minute, Aaron. What a callback.
All right.
Nice.
Aaron
Should
says
we do the spirit
he
dance? Is that what we're doing here?
No, Aaron, piss off. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, you know what?
Thank you,
Aaron
Aaron.
threw it back in my face, and I deserved it.
Yep.
Okay.
That's amazing.
All right, so Ted Lasso.
Okay. All right.
Spencer.
How I Met Your Mother. I had never watched it. And then all of a sudden on Facebook Reels, they kept on showing so many scenes of how insanely amazing, not that I didn't need to be sold on it before, Neil Patrick Harris is in that show. And I just started going nuts. And I was a late comer to like Big Bang Theory. I didn't watch it till just about it came off the air. But I've been binging since, like, I would say October, How I Met Your Mother. And it's pretty amazing.
Wow.
Are you caught up?
I am not caught up, but I'm still loving.
Okay.
I'm loving all that. I mean, obviously, I've rewatched, all the Star Wars, multiple times, and/or Obi-Wan, Mandalorian and Ahsoka, just because. But yeah, How I Met Your Mother was my big binge of the year. I would also say, that shows if you were going to just go binge it, one by one. That's already all the episodes out there. But other than that, I mean, I really enjoyed the final season of The Crown. I thought that was absolutely fantastic.
Okay, no spoilers. It's still on my list, but awesome.
Yeah.
No spoilers for historical events, but
yeah.
Oh well. Yeah.
That's actually my argument. I'm actually on a show next week that's pitting what's a better film, Attack of the Clones versus Revenge of the Sith. And I said, Revenge of the Sith is the Star Wars Titanic. We know what's going to happen at the end. So I'm actually pro clones.
For both of yours, I'm like, well, I don't want to say any spoilers because, like, yeah, The Crown, historical events, and also How I Met Your Mother ended like 10 years ago. So the statute of limitations is expired. But at the same time, it's a controversial ending. So I don't want to say anything.
Okay.
All right.
Sarah.
Okay, for me, I'm going to go with Star Trek Strange New Worlds, which I had you rewatch the first season before the second season came, or I rewatched it. You watched it for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And I really want him to cosplay as Captain Pike because I think that would be fun. You have the gray hair.
Do I have the hair?
Yeah, you do. You just need the buzz cut.
You just got to get it to go straight up.
Yeah, straight up, and then the buzz cut on the sides. And yeah, there you go.
Yes, please.
You need some gel. Yeah, but yeah. So I just love that series and what they've done with the Gorn, which was a famously really funny scene, and it's also gotten Richard and I to watch some of the original series Star Trek episodes that pertain to Strange New Worlds, which we are not up on the original series Star Trek. So it's really fun.
When I first got to Los Angeles, I worked on a TV show, and we shot up at the Vasquez Rocks where they shot that Gorn sequence.
Yeah.
And all the crew were like, this is where they shot the Gorn. Rich, the Gorn.
Okay.
Arena.
Is that a Lord of the Rings thing?
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
It's the episode Arena from the original series. Yeah.
So back then I had no appreciation for it, but now having seen that episode and being more into Star Trek, I could appreciate that being in those sacred grounds.
Yeah.
Where the Gorn would be like,
I know, like slowly throwing a punch.
And William Shatner would do a shoulder roll 10 feet backwards.
It is so funny.
All right.
What about you, Richard?
I'm going to say The Fall of the House of Usher. Now, what got us into this, of course, was Mark Hamill. Okay, well, we want to see what his latest and greatest is. But this show was very, very intriguing and very original in the way that it took poems from Edgar Allan Poe and incorporated it into a new story. So each episode corresponded with one of his poems. The Pit and the Pendulum, The Raven, Telltale Heart.
Yeah.
Which I know those titles.
Right, but
I'm not really
know what
familiar
happens.
with the actual stories.
Right.
So because of that, I'm very intrigued to go and read those original stories. And it was just a great story from beginning to end. And when you see it, it kind of leaves you on a down note.
Yeah.
Because of the way it ended, but Mark Hamill was just so good.
You
He
mean
was
you
really
didn't,
good.
you didn't want to go and read A Telltale Heart after watching Lisa Simpson's diorama?
The Simpsons. That's the only only connection I had with A Telltale Heart. Everyone made little dioramas.
And then Fuego brought his original Star Wars in original packaging, and he won the diorama contest because he had Star Wars figures.
But later on, he bent his Wookiee.
Yeah, that was awesome. What's a diorama?
Oh, my mom.
See, look at this on the same page. That's the only connection I have with The Telltale Heart.
You'll have to show me that episode. Mom wants to weigh in. My mom. She said that she and Dad watched about 4 or 5 different Christmas Carol movies after our podcast.
Wow.
In early December. It really got them on a kick. Which, yeah,
nice.
we feel ya because we watched a bunch right before that.
And even inspired some of our dress choices.
Yes.
All right, let's read some more of these. What's Aaron got to say?
Okay, Aaron says, was just watching the Halloween show from last year, and wedding pictures are adorable. Aww. Back before Sarah gave Richard White hair. Oh.
Rude.
Oh, spirited. Yay.
Spirited's so good.
Okay, let's wrap it up on this section with Sherry, who says only murders in the building.
Absolutely.
Steve Martin and Martin Short are brilliant.
That was a great. This past season was fantastic when they added Meryl Streep to the cast. Meryl Streep and Paul Rudd.
Oh my god.
And Paul Rudd, yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? Selena Gomez holds her own.
Yeah, it's very fun.
But the best part about it is they talked about Broadway, and they brought in Matthew Broderick and Nathan Lane and Mel Brooks. They had Mel Brooks on there talking about that, and they did a whole like Ferris Bueller-esque episode, which was absolutely fantastic. But yeah, no, that show is incredible, and they deserve any accolades that they're going to get.
Yeah, I remember seeing season 1 and being like, well, there's no premise for future seasons, right? It's over. You can only do a season 1 of this. And yet after season 3, I'm like, oh, keep going. They got it.
Well, it's like every season they end it with the cliffhanger the joke should be they should do a Professor McGonagall to the three of them say, why is anything always happy? It's you three. Because every season they're being framed for something else.
Well, yeah, when you leave the season when Selena Gomez is drenched in blood, all fingers got a point to you. All right, try to talk your way out of this one or sing your way out of this one.
Wow. All right, let's move on to our next question, which is, and Spencer, this should be close to your heart. Which meme in 2023 really connected with you?
Okay, so
how are you gonna choose, Spencer?
I actually that took me a long time because anybody who knows me, I post memes incessantly because I would rather make people laugh than make people angry and cry on their soapbox. So that's my whole thing. What my favorite meme was, and let me find it. What I told my wife I paid on Star Wars versus what I actually paid.
And then what's the picture associated?
It was like, something from the dollar store versus, like the $800 Millennium Falcon. So
I didn't get this from Galaxy's Edge. Yeah, 99 cents only. They had them on blowout.
I mean, how much was that autograph? Well, it was in pounds, so it
was cheaper.
So there's no way to tell.
Yeah, for the conversion was yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we don't really have a device that can look that up, so I'll have to wait until Monday when the library opens, and I can look up that information there.
I'll get that from the card catalog.
All right, Melissa.
Maybe just because it's the most recent one, but the only one I could really think of was I actually really enjoyed the Elf on a Shelf ones. You've heard of Elf on a Shelf, because they're so silly, and I like word puzzles and stuff like that. So I felt really smart every time I got one.
What was one you got? Like, what would they do?
Which one really connected with you?
Wookiee on a cookie. So you've
Greedo
heard of Elf on a
Speedo.
Shelf. What about yes, exactly. I think my favorite one was Seinfeld on a minefield. Seinfeld. I guess now that I say it, it doesn't quite rhyme, but it was like a picture of Jerry Seinfeld like in a minefield. I don't know.
There's also Mandalorian on a DeLorean. Vader on a tater.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, Jeff.
And I know people hated them by the time it was mid-December, but I was eating them up. I loved it.
Nice.
All right, Sarah, what meme really spoke to you?
Okay, I saw this meme and I just laughed out loud. So this meme has a picture of Keanu Reeves like smiling, and then there's a picture of Keanu Reeves like loading his shotgun with a menacing face from like Johnny Mnemonic. I don't know what.
Johnny Mnemonic.
Yeah, is that what it's from? Okay,
maybe John Wick.
Yeah, John Wick, probably John Wick. And so what the meme said was 90s me waiting patiently for a 3-minute commercial to end equals the smiling face of Keanu Reeves versus 2023 me waiting 4 seconds to skip a YouTube ad equals Keanu Reeves loading that gun, like getting ready to go.
That's awesome.
And I thought that was so hilarious because that's like how I feel when it's, damn it, another ad. Oh, I have to wait this 4 seconds.
And now they added that to Disney Plus, and that's killing me.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And Amazon Prime and
and all the things. Yes. So that just it connected totally with me. I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, see, I don't mind waiting those out because when I was a kid, you had to wait a good 5 minutes
Oh, I know.
If for a commercial break to end.
Well, see, those 3-minute commercial breaks gave you enough time to like clean up something in the kitchen real fast, and then you get back to your program. But now those 4 seconds, you can't do anything with that, but just sit there and wait.
Yeah. And waiting, that's the whole battle right there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, for me, I had a good time just going to Spencer's Facebook page and just going, okay, Spencer's done all my homework for me. And I just went through all of Spencer's memes.
Which one did you pick?
Because, well, I have 2, but it still goes under meme. It goes under memes, so it's one with 2 parts, okay? It was really hard because there were so many good ones. One that really connected with me is that there's a picture of Chris Hemsworth half covering his face, and it looks like he was on location for Thunderdome.
It's actually Ragnarok. Because there was actually
Ragnarok.
He was incognitos. Like, you won't recognize me.
Yes.
And he puts like a sheet over his face.
And the caption is, when you don't answer messages, but you're sharing memes. And I connected with that because I'll be like posting things on Facebook and commenting. I'll get like friends calling me like 11:30 at night. It's like, no. Oh, I was like, oh, they knew I was awake because I was on Facebook. Oh,
that's great.
So now I can't answer past I can't post past like 10 o'clock.
Because you don't want calls or messages.
Yes.
That's hilarious.
Now, I got another one because it goes under the same category of memes.
Uh-huh.
And this one is a picture of Zeb from Mandalorian. He's making a frowny face. And the caption is, the face you make when your friends are having fun without you. And that was our face during Celebration London. That was our faces watching everyone having a good time.
Way to bring it down. No, but yeah.
But hey, it's, you know what? There can't be good without bad and bad without good and happy without sad.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. So let's move on to the next category. What do you feel was overrated in 2023?
For me, the only thing I could think of that I hated that I watched, I think, all year was a show called The Bear, which I know lots of people like and is nominated for many awards, but I hated it. I watched all of it, but I hated it. So I think it was overrated. Why do I want to see people yell at each other? I don't want to do that. Too stressful.
Interesting. Yeah, because we saw The Bear, but I can see how you could feel that way because, yeah, there was some very stressful happenings going on there. Okay.
Hold on.
Oh.
Aaron's going to throw some more shade in the Sky Chat. By the time Richard talks through all of his choices, we may get a 5-hour show after all. See, at least you know what's coming. At least you know what's coming.
And Sherry agrees with you, Melissa. I only made it through 2 episodes of The Bear.
Yeah. Don't keep going. I don't know why I kept watching. I had to like come down after that show. And I kept being like, just stop watching it, Melissa. I'm so stressed out. And I kept watching. So good for you, Sherry, for stopping after 2 episodes.
Well, if you watch the whole series afterwards, you'll find yourself calling everyone chef.
Yes, chef.
Yes. Okay, chef, your turn. Chef Spencer, go ahead. Chef Sarah.
But yes, Spencer, go ahead.
My answer might get me kicked off of this show.
Uh-oh. I don't know.
All right, hold on. Hand is over the button. Go ahead.
It already happened once.
No, but this
that wasn't us. That was Hayden Christensen.
Yes. Barbie.
I almost wrote Barbie too.
Oh,
okay,
wow. Oh.
Honestly, the hype. I watched it when I was excited to watch it because of the hype, and I was kind of like, it was cute, but I don't get the hype. So okay. Listen, it kind of reminded me of the Mario, like, I guess I didn't know the jokes because obviously I didn't collect Barbie or anything of that nature. But it's like the Mario Brothers one for Richard, is that if you didn't play the video game, you didn't get the nuances and the references. So I was completely lost a lot of the times with the inner jokes about Alan or Midge or anything of that nature, and Skipper. And I was just kind of like, okay, it's cute. I like it. I mean, but I just thought it was overrated in my mind.
That's because you're a guy. And I say that just because there was a lot of male bashing that I wanted to raise my hand and say, can we skip over some of these parts here?
I didn't care about that, and I'm sure that's going to be unfortunately because of a lot of stuff that's being talked about in Star Wars these days is going to keep on being a subject. But the fact is that stuff didn't bother me as much as the fact that I was just kind of like, okay, whatever. it just didn't live to the hype that everybody's like, oh my God, it's the best thing out there. It's fantastic. And what they did, I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm glad you liked it. Not my cup of tea, but what? I mean, I thought other things were better for the year, but
It was the antithesis to Ant-Man and to superhero films. People just needed that lighthearted film.
But it wasn't lighthearted. I mean, that's the thing is, I think it's easy for Barbie to feel like it was overrated because it was so hyped, right? Like
that's what it was.
It was huge. It made $1 billion. The Barbenheimer stuff, the memes, the fact that like 1/10 of the people at Comic-Con were dressed up like Barbie. Like it was hyped. And so it's easy for it to seem overrated if it's just a good movie after all of that.
Yeah, Margot Robbie did a great job, and Ryan Gosling did a fantastic job.
Amazing.
Yeah.
But,
well, see, I think I mean, we ended up seeing it opening weekend, and so like I was part of the hype train because it surprised the hell out of me because I was just expecting a fun comedy, and yet here was this whole existential like social messaging going on around it, and I got a lot of the references too, just because I was a kid. I had 4 Barbies. One of them was my weird Barbie. Ken would end up on the floor over there somewhere because I would change all my clothes and my Barbies. I really didn't care about Ken. Like it was just everything like worked for me, and I could see a lot of the messages. My mom had to deal with a lot of the things that the Barbies were railing against with the men things. So I saw a lot of that.
Yeah, it was poignant, but like, okay, Barbie, we get it. We get it, okay?
Yeah, it wasn't super subtle in the patriarchy.
The patriarchy is not about horses, okay?
That was so funny.
Yeah.
There was a part that was going wrong. It was enjoyable, but I thought that it was the hype. If it wasn't for the hype, I probably would not have watched the movie. I would not have been excited about watching the movie, and maybe I built it up because there's a lot of times people are like, "Oh my God, this is absolutely incredible! You got to watch it." I'd be like, "Yeah, no, I absolutely see it." And I was kind of like, that was a fun movie that I don't have to watch again.
I honestly feel the same way about Barbie. I liked it. I'm glad $1 billion worth of people went and saw it because $1 billion worth of people learning that the patriarchy is bad is good. But I don't need to see it again myself.
Yeah, I thought Will Ferrell really brought the film down.
I did not like him.
He was just too over the. And I love Will Ferrell. We love him in Spirited, love him in everything else. But here, he just was doing his own film.
He was President Business from the Lego movie.
That's what I was thinking.
He was. All right, well, before we get into a topic tangent on Barbie, Richard, what do you feel was overrated in 2023?
I'm going to say clickbait.
Oh.
And gloating when films don't go well. And I hated looking at the news headlines and seeing all these superhero films being punching bags. And these articles just saying how horrible these films were, and superhero fatigue. So it's putting these clickbait authors are putting themselves on soapboxes because they can tell America and the world that these films don't do well. It's like those people who just stand there and tell everyone else they're wrong. They feel better about themselves. Even Stephen King tweeted about this. Like, guys, I'm not a big superhero film fan either, but don't gloat when a film that people spent years on, the company spent millions and hundreds of millions of dollars on, when they fail, you guys are just gloating about that. Now, they're forgetting that these films had huge budgets because of the pandemic. They had to stop and start, and that's very expensive for a film crew. Location changes for Indiana Jones had to change because of the pandemic. There was a big outbreak in India, so they had to go to Morocco. Even if you're paying someone like Harrison Ford, well, people go to the movie because of Harrison Ford. So I was just really, really sick of all of that, and clickbait was just it was overrated. Just get away from it. Put your attention to what matters. Let's stay positive, people.
I like it.
There you go.
Nice.
Hold on. Preach, Richard. Preach.
Says Aaron.
Finally, he's on my side.
All right. I think we should move on to what in pop culture surprised you. Like, was there an unexpected surprise announcement or any type of media you weren't expecting? What do you guys think? Spencer.
Vince McMahon selling the WWE to Endeavor, the parent company of the UFC.
What?
Yeah. Like, I did not see that Vince McMahon, self-made billionaire, taking his parent company that his father built from a regional company to a worldwide conglomerate, sold the company to the parent company of the UFC. So it's no longer a family business anymore. It's now bigger than it's ever been. Never thought that it would happen, that Vince McMahon would relinquish power of his empire.
I don't understand sports, but I understand what you're going with there.
Well, it's wrestling. You know, it's got The Rock. You know who he is. You know who John Cena is. They're both in Fast and Furious.
Whole theme of going from a family business to a big conglomerate. I got you there. Okay.
Got it.
I connect.
That's a good one.
All right, Melissa.
Mine originally was going to be the hype around Barbie, but since we talked about that in the last question, because I mean, if you think about it, that was wild, right? Like we had nothing else to talk about, I feel like, because of the actors' strike. But that was a wild thing going on. So, but the second thing I had written down too was also what surprised me was James Marsden in Jury Duty. I don't know if you watch this. But like the fact that he played himself, and again, he's up for a Golden Globe tomorrow night for playing himself.
Is he really?
Wow.
Yes, in a fake reality show. And as if I couldn't love my Disney prince, more. It was amazing. It was a great performance, and I didn't know he had it in him.
And the fact that the whole bathroom thing was really funny. And he put himself out there for that. Wow, you gotta go see that Jury Duty.
Yeah, if anyone hasn't seen Jury Duty, it's like a 10-episode show where only one person is not in on the whole context.
Yeah, like everyone else is like actors.
Yeah, so they're all, and the jury and the bailiffs and the judge, they're all actors.
Yeah.
And it was
I
like
didn't
one
think
person.
I would like it. Yeah. It was really hyped at Comic-Con. I was like, I don't think I'm going to watch this show. And then I heard how fun James Marsden was in it, and I watched it, and I loved it.
Yeah, I think that's what got us to watching it, because it was hyped at Comic-Con. It's like, why is Jury Duty hyped at Comic-Con?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Sarah.
Okay, for me, I was very surprised and happy about that whole Rogers the Musical that we just saw in Hawkeye, like becoming a reality. Like that just floored me that they would actually do that and make it happen. So I'm coming back around to my first thing, and just how surprised and delighted I was.
You were such on the hype train for that this year.
I am. I can't even describe. I'm such a musical, like,
Moving forward,
fan.
that's Sarah's answer for like 3 or 4 more topics.
I'm like such a musical fan, and the fact that they brought musicals to Marvel, which is like you wouldn't think of musicals at all, and then that they made this thing a reality that we just saw on screen, that at the end of Hawkeye, if you watch, you keep watching, they give you that little gift of the one song, and then they made that one song into like this 6-song musical that's so emotional. I just love it. Okay.
So good. And you weren't even here, Spencer. I think when you fell off was when we talked about Rogers the Musical the whole time. You were frozen. And yeah, we could keep talking about it.
Yeah.
So good.
Oh, we will be too. We will be.
Yeah. I think I saw it like 8 times this summer. Yeah.
Amazing.
I'm so excited.
8 times that she'll admit to.
Yeah, there's those times you don't know about. All right, so Richard, what about you? What in pop culture surprised you?
The thing that surprised me was the closing of the Galactic Star Cruiser. Because we had gone on the press junket voyage for Galactic Star Cruiser, and seeing and hearing about how much work and development went into this, I thought they would at least give it a couple of years to work out all of its bugs and to get it to where it really should be. What they had was perfect. It was perfect.
I just couldn't market it. Yeah.
But I think they just needed to step back, maybe 2 days, bring the price down a little bit, and just finesse it. There was so much room where they could have and should have finessed it. And then when they said, oh yeah, it's closing, that shocked me. That shocked me once again, because so much development went into this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Down to taxes, okay? All comes down to a tax break.
Right.
I didn't want to come out and say, because that's the easy answer. You have Batgirl, you have Scoob, and you have Galactic Star Cruiser, and that's where it all comes down to. It's the tax break. We can just dismember it now and get the tax break, or we can let it ride through and hope.
Right.
And I just expected Disney to have more confidence in a property like the Galactic Star Cruiser, because the story was impeccable. The characters were fantastic.
The experience was like the most highly rated experience because it is amazing.
And the fact that they can't harvest this, it's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Because then they can't get the whole tax break.
Right.
And this is just conjecture. I don't know this, but the Gaia dinner show, easily worth the price of admission. And if anyone hasn't seen this, go to our YouTube, and we recorded the whole thing, and Sarah worked tirelessly jotting down and dictating all the lyrics and the song.
It's captioned.
Yeah. We even had to reach out to our friend Matt Martin and say, Matt, you wrote some of these lyrics here. What is she saying right here? Because sometimes she's in the back of we couldn't tap into a soundboard, so she's in the back of the theater. It's like, what is she saying right there?
Luckily, there is the soundtrack now you can listen to.
Right, yeah, now there is.
Yeah.
Now there is.
But yeah, so
But
at least that still exists.
And we had a thought of maybe doing like a Skywalking, maybe a virtual cantina meetup on one of these Galactic Star Cruisers in the future. I was like, let's kick that around at some point.
But then it closed.
Yeah, they didn't even give people time to save up enough money to go, like I was doing,
That was my plan for my 50th birthday.
Oh, no.
I mean, I got a couple of years, but I was like, okay, I could save up. I can get the guys to get the crew together. And as soon as it closed, people are like, so what are you going to do now? I'm like, oh, come on. I had the perfect idea.
Yeah. And they had a comic book series to align with the Galactic Star Cruiser. In the comic book series, you would do one issue about Han and Leia, one issue about Anakin and Padme. If they had done that on the Galactic Star Cruiser, where you could see the prequel characters and the sequel characters and the original trilogy characters, that would have been huge.
Yeah.
That's right. Didn't Han and Leia, the book about Han and Leia's honeymoon take place on yeah, that's right. I read that and I was like, I'll bet this is a tie-in to Disney World.
And he carved the initials in the engine room, and if you go to the engine room in the Galactic Star Cruiser, they're there. You can find them.
Yeah, HS plus LO.
Yeah, it's freaking amazing.
Yeah, so it's like you can go to the Galactic Star Cruiser and go, hey, look, that's where Han Solo vandalized the room. All right, let's move on to this one here. What didn't meet your expectations in 2023?
2023 is always going to be the year I got laid off, right? I was a science writer at Nerdist, and they decided to stop covering science a year ago. So that didn't meet my expectations for 2023. It's also the first time I got COVID was at Dragon Con this summer. So that didn't meet my expectations for Dragon Con. So yeah, those two things are pretty hard to forget for me. But I tried to make the best of everything anyway.
There you go. And in a positive.
Follow that, Spencer.
Okay, so I would have to say that Fan Expo Boston was a complete letdown, considering the fact that if you saw the lineup of Chicago that this past year had, and it had like 15 to 20 Star Wars people, Star Trek people. Like the lineup was absolutely insane for Chicago, and Boston was the week before. And once Rosario canceled, more and more people canceled, that they only had like 12 guests for the entire convention. But it was just like 12 guests for literally Boston was a crown jewel besides Dallas for their catalog, and it was the worst show of the year, and you felt it on the floor. Like they opened up more space for vendors on the BCEC than they have since before it was actually called Fan Expo, but before it was called Boston Comic Con. It was just such a letdown, and for me, it was like that's my home show. It was just heartbreaking because you look forward to certain cons, the lineup's gonna be stellar year after year, and the one year you're there, like, why? Just absolutely why?
Did you ever find out why?
I've heard things that I can't say because it would be information from behind the scenes, and I don't want to give that. But the fact is that the company had enough money, in my estimation, I'm putting this out there, that they could put on an incredible show the week after and put on an incredible show with Mark Hamill, his first show since 2017 over Thanksgiving weekend. I don't think personally the money was appropriated evenly or dispersed in certain areas. It was just kind of rough, it was disappointing considering the fact that Boston always was known in their catalog as the second biggest next to Dallas. And Dallas is always like, I know when as a Comic-Con fan, if I want to know who's potentially going to come to Boston, I would watch the lineup in Dallas because I was like, all right, Dallas is number 1, Boston's 2. And now it's like Boston was pushed down the line.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah.
That's too bad.
All right.
For me.
Yeah, go ahead.
There's many films I was looking forward to in 2023. Highest being Indiana Jones. Great. But I would say second or third was The Haunted Mansion. Oh, I couldn't wait to see this film. And about 10 minutes in, I'm like, Sarah, do you want to go? Can we please leave? It was horrible. When you don't like the lead character because he's an idiot. Don't take Rosario Dawson's money to come in there and take pictures of paranormal and go click 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 click. All right, I'm done. Bye. Then just don't waste your time driving there, and don't take her money. Don't waste her time. And at that point, it's like, I don't like this character. I hope he becomes the 1,000th ghost in this Haunted Mansion, because I never want to see him come back. I didn't like him. And Rosario Dawson, why are you here? They could have gotten anyone to play this role because it was a nothing role. The little boy was phenomenal. The best character in the film was the little boy. And then let's chuck out Owen Wilson, stay home. Danny DeVito, we don't need you on the set today. There's so many characters that just wasn't needed. In the end, having Owen Wilson say, oh, by the way, I'm not a real minister. I'm not a real preacher. I had you fooled. It's like, there was 30 seconds to the end credits. Why did you need to go there? We tried to watch it on a rewatch during Halloween. It's like, maybe it'll play better now than in the summertime.
I don't think we finished
Hello,
it.
Disney. Hello.
Wow.
Did you not learn anything from Hocus Pocus in '93? You don't release a Halloween movie during the summertime.
Yeah,
and we tried
was weird.
we watched another 20 minutes at home because we were in our living room. We're like, okay.
Trying to get in the Halloween season.
Yeah, it's like, nope.
No.
We
turn on Muppets Haunted Mansion instead.
Yeah, and then we watched Static. And we got much better character development.
I was about to say, did you watch the Eddie Murphy one? Because I absolutely loved this movie.
Yes, before we saw the new Haunted Mansion, we saw the Eddie Murphy one, and it was friggin' hilarious. Loved it.
No. I'm talking about that. I like the Rosario one.
Okay.
Oh.
Let's rethink 2024.
Well. I remember we went to lunch when you guys came to Boston, and I said how much I loved Black Widow, and Sarah's like, "Well, you're allowed to like it." I'm like, okay.
Okay to be wrong.
The movie? I liked the Black Widow movie. All right.
It was much better seeing it at home.
I liked the Rosario one. I couldn't stand the Eddie Murphy one.
Oh.
Interesting.
You know what? I'll just put on the original Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Girl, and there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Or you know what?
Any day. That movie is good every day.
And the Steve Guttenberg Tower of Terror, we're there. We're there.
All right. I was thinking of movies and TV for what didn't meet my expectations this year, and for me, it was Loki season 2. I really loved season 1, and we rewatched it right before we saw season 2, and then I don't know, season 2 just didn't measure up to the first season. It was very confusing, and yeah, but I don't want to get too mired in here because we have some other questions. I know it's Spencer's face.
Spencer's
though.
jaw is dropping. Spencer, pick up your jaw. I heard a big clank.
I know.
Yeah.
I love
right.
that season 2.
I'm very glad you did. I love the music to season 2 was phenomenal, but yeah, and the production design, great parts to it, but
and missed minutes
story,
can't get enough.
Yeah, the story was like okay, but let's move on to what
Hashtag I'm glad Kang's gone. I feel horrible for what happened to Jonathan Majors, but going from Ultron to Thanos to Kang.
Okay,
No.
Victor Timely was awesome. His characterization in season 2 for that was, I thought, was incredible. But okay.
Yeah, I agree. I also don't think King is gone. I think they're just gonna recast.
No, they're gonna do what they should have done and just go to Doctor Doom.
I don't know. As long as Ms. Marvel is in it, Kamala Khan, I'm there. So there you go.
Uh-oh. Sherry's throwing down in the sky chat.
Uh-oh. Season
Throwing
2 was
down.
better than 1. Uh-oh.
Virtual Cantina represent.
Courtney Singh, Courtney Turkel, Victor Timely was annoying.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought he was good.
Very.
Wow.
Hey, all Tom Hiddleston is good. Tom Hiddleston.
Well, okay,
so.
Melissa. Yes.
Oh, and he's headlining MegaCon too. They're bringing Tom Hiddleston down to MegaCon.
Wow. All right. Well, let's move on. What would be your hashtag for 2023? I can't wait to share mine.
All right. Wait, we all know what this is gonna be. All right. Any guesses to what this is gonna be?
Hashtag I can do this all day. Meaning that this year was really just awesome. Just personal, professional, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was just, let's make another year like this one. We can do this all day.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right. That is perfect. All right, Melissa.
And don't curse in yours, Melissa, please.
Good afternoon.
Yes, right. Good afternoon. Yes, good afternoon 2023 probably is very appropriate. I couldn't come up with anything. The only hashtag I ever actually use on LinkedIn or Twitter or anything like that is SciComm, which is short for science communication. So that's what I was thinking. Like, I can make anything about science, right? We can talk about it with Loki season 2. I can obviously talk about it with Star Wars, with Fast and Furious movies. So you want to talk to me about pop culture, I can always sneak in some science facts in there.
That's awesome, Melissa. I think that works really well. That's a great hashtag.
Okay. Spencer, top that.
Hashtag bet on yourself.
Okay. Explain.
So in 2022, towards the end of 2022, I decided to leave my job for 7 years. And because of various reasons that I was just unhappy, I was just miserable all the time. And while looking for a job, I dove deep into building the VCN, which exploded in 23. We pulled off London, and I think a lot had to do with the fact that I had the time to do it. But my job that I ended up getting, what actually impressed them the most and actually said what put me over the edge to get the job was the fact that I pulled off Boonta Eve in London from Boston. So the way I look at it is that all the heartache, all the crying, all the trepidation, the doubting myself, betting on myself at the end of 22 to go through what I went through in 23 to come out where I am right now, I am in the best position I've ever been in my entire life.
Well, good for you. Good for you. Well
That's
said.
awesome.
Well stated. For me, I'm going to say hashtag try different things. Such as, I'm going to go back to Barbie. Who thought something like Barbie was going to do well? Look at films like Battleship and things based on some games that just didn't pull it through.
Well, and to me, Battleship is just always funny because I forget. Like once a year, I remember that they made a Battleship movie. It's always funny to me.
But they really broke out of the superhero. I don't want to say superhero fatigue, but I get it. But still, I don't want that to become a thing because it wasn't superhero fatigue. It was more of a noise fatigue because each film had to be louder and noisier, which took away from the characters, took away from getting to know who Bruce Wayne was, or Clark Kent, or Peter Parker. Now it was just bam, 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 bam. And I think Barbie took its time and told a good story for me, for better or worse at times. Also, I'm gonna go with Taylor Swift. When she wanted to do her concert movie.
Yeah, she wanted to release her movie, her concert.
And there was so much turmoil behind the scenes. She's like, you know what, guys? I'll do it myself. And she four-walled it at AMC theaters. It's like, that is brilliant. Not only not that she needs it, you're going to make 1 billion times more than what you would have. But this is a new way for studios to go, oh, maybe we shouldn't play hardball because we know that these films and these artists can sidestep us and go right to the theaters. Because I'm sure AMC or any theater's like, yeah, Taylor, come on here. And people who want to dance in the aisles, yeah, great. This is fantastic. And I was so happy to see that she did this. And they kind of did the same thing with Star Wars. When no one really wanted Star Wars, Gary Kurtz went to different theaters and said, hey, do you want our movie? And it did as well as it did in the beginning because he had a 4 wallet. When people try different things and they succeed, or even if they don't succeed, even if they try, I like to acknowledge that.
Got it.
Now, all right, settle in here. If you could go back in time and visit your 10-year-old self, what would you say about 2023? All right, Sarah, we'll start with you this time.
Ooh, I would tell myself, my little 10-year-old geeky self, to stay in your little geeky lane because the world will catch up. And yeah, that's just where it's at. And I'm so glad when I was 10, I just was geeky and found my little group of friends who were like me and didn't care about being popular because I had the best like childhood because of that. And so yeah, I just say, hey, do it, stay there. Yeah.
Your 10-year-old self was like, hey, who was that girl in the mouse ears? She's wearing this Disney Spirit jersey, and she was saying something about, I could do this all day, and then she just zapped away. Who was she?
Yeah.
All right. Melissa, you want to follow that?
Yes, mine would be, oh my God, you're going to love the Little Mermaid movie.
Aw, that's so
because
cute.
I love the Little Mermaid movie this year, or in 2023. I love the live action one. The animated one came out right when I was like at the perfect Disney age. I've always been into ocean science, so I loved it. And I loved everything about the live action one.
Awesome, Melissa. Me too. Like it was that was like my second on here that I didn't mention. But yeah,
nice.
That's so cool. And I was also the right age. Yay.
Yeah.
Yay for
fun
little
science
girls.
fact.
Oh,
yeah. Fun science fact. Every species except mermaids in that movie is a real species on Earth. So if you go back and you watch Under the Sea, like all of those crazy octopuses and squids and fish, like those are all real.
Aww.
I've been seeing some TikTok videos where people are catching mermaids out in the wild.
Okay,
well, there you go.
Melissa, we need the science of the Little Mermaid now. You know,
yeah.
Got to do a podcast or a panel. I'm there.
Yeah, excellent.
All right.
Yeah, a companion piece podcast. Get James. He'll love this.
Absolutely.
All right, Spencer, what do you got?
Star Wars is going to change your life.
Yeah.
I honestly feel that after 2017, which was my first celebration, my life got better. And I found my people finally. And I found my tribe. And I'm the most confident and the happiest. And I'd also say, one day you'll be cool. So Star Wars changed my life.
Nice.
All right, here.
One day you'll be cool. What about you, Richard?
For me, I would go back to my 10-year-old self, and I was very shy. I was a turtle. I would just be in my shell. You'd never even know I was in the room. And to tell a 10-year-old Richard that, you know what, someday you'll be owning the room when it comes to these big panels that you're going to do at Comic-Cons or celebrations or these various conventions. You're going to be up there as the front man for these conventions. I probably would have said, hey, you know what? This little girl in Austin, Texas, she said something about someone coming through a portal saying some wacky business. So I don't know what you're doing over there, but you know what? Drugs kill. I never would have believed that. Never.
So that also would have scared my 10-year-old self because I was really shy until I was like 13 or 14. So if I told my 10-year-old self that, I probably would have I would have just hidden a hole the rest of my life.
You should also tell your 10-year-old self that you need a top hat.
Right?
It's very cute. Oh, Mom is saying, I would tell my 10-year-old self, don't only try to emulate the fashions on your Barbie dolls, but try to create the fashions for all women and build a fashion empire. Wow,
It's not too late. It's not too late.
Yeah.
Sarah's mom. Do it. Strike while that iron is hot. Not just Margot Robbie can pull those off, you know? Let's see them.
Awesome.
All right, we have a couple more here.
Okay.
All right, this one here, this topic. Did you have a personal goal in your fandom for 2023, and was it met? Spencer, I think we know the answer.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I can't say enough. I honestly, the growth of the Virtual Cantina Network was astronomical, and Boonta Eve put us on a whole other level in the fandom, which is exciting. And, we knew that after 2022, the success of Anaheim, that we could not afford to take off London if we could help it, and we did it. So I would say my expectations for the fandom paid off in spades.
Well, if there is a Mount Rushmore of fandom, Spencer, you and Melissa will be right up there.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate it.
You positively represent fandom, and I love it.
Well, thank you very much. I do what I can.
Melissa.
What was your hashtag again, Spencer?
My hashtag was bet on yourself.
Bet on yourself. Okay, so that kind of goes along with you said yours sort of ended 2022. My 2023 started that way. I didn't make the choice not to have a job, but I sort of did what it sounds like you did too, which was take a beat, decide what things were important and what things you wanted to focus your energy on, and spend some time there. And because that involves the fandom and stuff like that, that was really sort of important to me. Then for the rest of 2023 was like, okay, what do I actually want to be doing? Can I make a living doing any of these things? I started pitching book ideas and looking for an agent and more podcasting stuff. And, not all of that got done in 2023, but I started it all. And it's a process.
Oh, it sure is.
Yeah.
The fact that you can at least start it, that's the first major hurdle in any creative aspiration.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Exactly.
Sarah.
Okay, well, we looked back on what we said last year. And my goal in fandom for 2023 was to create a Kindle version of Today in Star Wars History, so I didn't quite meet that goal, but I did do a lot of research on it. And so that's still on my list for this year of 2024. So, yeah.
Yes.
That's in my mind, because that would be a great way to update the book as well.
Yeah, and the update, this is volume 1 of Today in Star Wars History. Now, the updated version would be like about yay thick. There's just so much happening.
Yeah, it's very true.
Which is still not a reason not to start off with Today in Star Wars History. Available skywalkingtoneverland.com/books. All right. For me, we hit our 10-year anniversary of Skywalking through Neverland. Mm-hmm. And when we started this, thank you, in 2013, I didn't know what to expect.
Oh, yeah.
I had no idea. And so we went along and kept on going. It was just so much fun that, wait a minute, we can talk to the people that shaped our lives?
Yeah.
It was, I would never expect that. Going back to a 10-year-old self and say, oh, by the way, yeah, you're going to be talking to the people who made Star Wars, people who puppeteered Jabba the Hutt, and everyone that you looked and saw their names in the credits. Yeah, you'll be Facebooking them and just say, hey, how's it going?
Or they'll be wishing you a happy birthday.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's what really gets me.
That's crazy.
Every year I get a happy birthday from Mike Edmonds, who played Logray in Return of the Jedi. It's like, how do you know who I am? So yeah,
that's always a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was, when people reach out and details and just so many people that we've met. And a lot of them we met through Spencer, and now it's become on a whole personal level.
Yeah.
Fantastic. All right, so was it met? Exactamundo.
It was. Awesome. All right. Well, do you have a personal fandom goal for 2024? Melissa.
Yeah, I want to keep, I guess, sort of leveling up, chipping away at that process. So hoping to get, some sort of book project going. I'd also really like to do something big at San Diego Comic-Con this summer. I'm sort of in the works with a couple other science pop culture nerds, getting a meetup together, doing nerd night stuff around San Diego Comic-Con, just really having it be establishing like more of the community, right? Like I know people are out there, people come to our panels, our science panels are always really popular, but like I want to network with those people. I want to meet them. I want to find out, you know, what else they're looking for and just kind of make a community.
Oh,
nice.
That's a great goal. That's how we really built up Skywalking, through meeting a lot of these people and getting feedback from them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a great goal. All right, Sarah.
My goal would be, I think I already mentioned it in the last one, was to create that Kindle version of Today in Star Wars History.
All right.
Yeah.
Kindle version of Today in Star Wars History and Rogers the Musical. That could be the answer to everything.
Make that
the movie. Rogers the Musical movie.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. The TV show.
No, I want to see it live again, live on stage.
The breakfast cereal.
Yeah, the breakfast cereal. Oh, that's funny. I love it.
For me, 2022 and 2023 got me addicted to panels at Celebration and at Comic-Con. It got me addicted to doing our pop culture and Star Wars trivia challenges. And if you see our videos, you'll see how much fun those are. And the winners could be walking away with an armful of prizes. A lot of them were given to us by Disney and Lucasfilm, and now we're passing them on to the winners of the pop culture and Star Wars trivia. And they're just so fun because after Comic-Con, people would say to us, "Hey, our kids went to your panel and they had a good time." It's like, oh, that's good. Like, no, they don't watch anything for more than 20 seconds. And that was like the greatest bit of feedback I ever got from one of our trivia panels.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I'm now addicted to hosting or co-hosting the live trivia panels at conventions.
Yeah. All right, we got a goal for our Sky Chat here. Aaron is saying, my personal fandom goal of 2024 is to join more of these live streams and give Richard heck.
Bring it on.
Perfect.
Bring
Worthy
it
goal.
on. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you so much. You need a challenger out there.
Nice. All right, finally, what are you looking forward to in 2024? And this could be something in your fandom or something personal.
Something you're waiting to see.
Yeah.
Convention.
Melissa.
I'm excited about going to Emerald City Comic-Con. I'm going for the first time next month. I sort of decided also last year after having more time on my hands that I would try like a new convention every year. So last year that was Dragon Con, and I really had an amazing time there. And so in February of this year, going to Emerald City Comic-Con. I pitched a couple panels which didn't get accepted, but that's okay. So I'm going to be a panelist on one thing, but pretty much I'm just going as a fan, and I'm just excited about that.
Nice. Awesome, Melissa.
All right, Sarah.
Okay. Well, I am so excited that Run Disney races are coming back to the West Coast. They're back at Disneyland starting next week. And I'm looking forward to being able to, I've trained myself now to being able to comfortably run a 10K and then staying fit until September because Disneyland is having a new themed marathon weekend. It is Halloween themed. So
Great.
I'm very excited about that.
Is this new? This is breaking to me.
No, I mentioned it like a month ago.
She's definitely mentioned it in front of me.
Yeah.
If you mention ending in December, chances are I did not absorb it.
Right. Well, yeah.
That's a busy time.
Yeah, it's the Disneyland Halloween half marathon. However, it's happening in September. It's like September.
To coincide with the movie that's coming out 3 months later.
Right. Right. But yeah, so it's Halloween themed, and I'm very much looking forward to that.
Awesome. Is it just a half marathon, or is there like
no,
a
it's
5K or 10K?
10K half marathon.
Maybe like a half K?
It's a
like a lowercase K?
Yes. So there's the 5K, the 10K, and the half marathon. And there's also yoga in front of the castle in the morning, but that's really hard to get into because they only take like 100 people.
And when you say early in the morning, we're talking like noon.
No, we're talking like 4 a.m.
I'm out.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. I have to get up super early one morning. But see, yeah. Well, we've done it before where we've done the 10K and the half and 2 days in a row, and that just
no way. Well, considering Disney is now starting their Halloween promotion, their campaign in like
August.
August.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't start off their campaign, their promotion with this run, with this marathon, this half marathon, to say, hey,
Well,
here.
they are. That's the thing. It's like this half marathon starts the day before Halloween time starts, or something like that.
Oh.
I believe. Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll be the first to run through during Halloween time. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You know what? Jonathan Notman is saying going to Nashville with the Virtual Cantina group for the first time. That's what he's looking forward to in 2024.
Nice. Cool.
Nice.
Yep, we're going to ICCC this next year, and we're gonna have a big presence there. So John's will be part of our crew for that.
Nice.
Awesome.
He's also mentioning that Disney World is having their Run Disney, the Disney World Marathon weekend is happening this weekend. Yeah. Well, as we speak.
Boy, I miss those days.
Don't miss the early mornings, but
No.
I've got my outfit all planned for next week. I'm going to be Robin Hood.
Ooh.
I'm
Amazing.
so excited.
The best part about those Disney races are that
dress up.
it's not a straight race.
No.
There's photo ops every 20 steps.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of these things that you can really look forward to, because when you said the race for the first time, it's like, there's no way.
Mm-hmm.
But oh, wait a minute, there's another photo stop, another photo spot.
And we still remember our meeting with Thor.
Oh yeah, every time. Like there's the
Dressed
Thor
as
spot.
Thor, yeah.
Yeah. Sarah's like, oh, I twisted my ankle. I gotta stay here with Thor.
Nice.
All right. For me, I'm gonna say the thing that I'm looking forward to is seeing how Disney's gonna pull out of the slump. Disney has brought happiness to so many people, but in 2023, people just had a great time slamming Disney. You know, like to build something up only to tear it down, and every time Disney had another movie, people were just tearing them down. And I'm just looking forward to seeing how they're gonna pull out of this.
Mm-hmm.
And I know they will, but how? How are they going to do just that? I wish I knew the answer.
It's a good question. We'll look forward to seeing that happening.
And talking to Bob Iger coming on the show next week. No, he's not.
I was like, what?
And then the ratings go up.
Yeah.
No,
I have some questions.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Oh my
you know when
gosh.
they say something, it's like, yeah, and here he is right here, and you'll half expect that person to come walking through the door. That's what I kind of expected. Like, I wanted to build up my hopes, but I had to tear them down.
I love it.
Okay, I'm also looking forward to The Acolyte, Skeleton Crew, all the fun Disney Plus shows, Mandalorian Season 3, Bad Batch Season 3, Mandalorian Season 4, rather. Bad Batch Season 3. This is going to be, what, 5 shows? 5
Wow.
Star Wars shows on in 2024.
My goodness.
So we're going to have a lot to talk about and so much to look forward to.
Nice.
All right, Spencer.
I think I know, but Spencer, what is your answer?
My answer is Family Vacation 2. That's coming this July through August throughout California. The Virtual Cantina is going on tour with our fans, and we're also bringing not one, not two, but now 3 Boonta Eve special edition events up and down California at the end of San Diego Comic-Con. So buckle up, kids. Monday night at Scum and Villainy. Tuesday night at Biggs Bar and Grill in Anaheim with 2 G's on the Biggs this time. And then 2 days later, we're going to be in San Francisco. We have not announced yet that our Not So Virtual Cantina is going to turn into Boonta Eve San Francisco. We've already announced for California, for Hollywood. We announced 4 guests out of a large group, including Chris Bartlett, Leilani Shu, Don Deinger, and Missy Rosas. And today, we announced our first guest for Anaheim, Dak himself, Mr. John Morton. So
nice.
It's going to be an incredible time. We're also going to be sieging Batu West in between our Boonta Eves on the Wednesday. And it's going to be so much fun. And we're going to tackle San Diego Comic-Con the weekend before. And it's going to be a lot of fun. And it's going to be crazy by the end of that week. So very excited. I'm very excited to see my West Coast family who I've not seen in a year. So excited to see all you guys. See you at our events and see you at San Diego Comic-Con, and we're gonna have our meetup again at the Omni. And it's just, I'm excited. I'm excited for this year because we get to take the VCN on the road and take it to a whole new level.
I'll say. That's awesome.
Is that all?
Yeah, that's it.
All right. So, where can our Skywalkers find you guys on social media, and how can they sign up for the family vacation? Spencer, let's go with you first.
You can find us at on YouTube, which is our networker, the Virtual Cantina Network, which is youtube.com/@Virtual Cantina Network. But also, our main hub is the world's largest Star Wars Celebration fan group. 62,000 members worldwide and growing. You can find us there. We're on all the social medias, including the ones that are either controversial or we were told that we needed to jump over because the controversial one was going to close. We're still on those two that everybody else jumped to with the rest of Star Wars. But if you want to get information about our trip and whether or not you want to be part of the full trip, or if you just want to come to any of our events, the full trip, there is tickets that we're on a waiting list already. We already sold out of our first bus for it, but there's a waiting list on our page if you want to follow us and be part of the transportation, everything from LA to Anaheim to San Francisco and back. Or you can come to all of our events, which our events are free. All the Boonta Eves this year are free. So check us out on Facebook. Find out information. Like I said, we're announcing names. We got a lot more names. I could tell you right now, between the 3 Boonta Eves, we're probably going to have close to 30 guests over that week. And that's not including the surprises that we have meeting up with us throughout the entire week.
You know what? I'm going to add that to my what am I looking forward to in 2024.
Absolutely.
And each event's going to be different. No event's going to be the same. Different guests and different themes for each one.
Nice. Skywalker's Academy is asking one of your guests, Bob Iger.
You got a better chance of getting Bob Iger on Skywalking Through Neverland than you have could be one of my guests.
Nice. All right. Well, thank you, Spencer. Melissa, where can our Skywalkers find you? And they should already know.
Well, hopefully I will be at one of those Boonta Eve events. I've never been to Scum and Villainy, so that's the one I'm aiming for probably, because I would love to do that with a bunch of Star Wars nerds. I am online on the socials at Melissa Truth, on Twitter, Facebook, Blue Sky, etc., Instagram. Follow me there. Follow the Star Warsologies podcast. We do a monthly interview with an expert in some random field because pretty much everything overlaps with Star Wars. So we have lots of fun episodes there. I'm just wrapping up the bonus episodes about Fast and Furious science. So our Fast X one episode should come out tomorrow called Fast 10 Your Seatbelts because James is so good at puns. So
that's good.
That's
very good.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so check me out on the podcast, and then come find me at San Diego Comic-Con or Emerald City Comic-Con or something like that, and let's geek out.
Love it.
All right, good deal. Spencer?
We're here.
Yes,
I know, but it looked like he had something to say.
Oh, look, I just found out Mandalorian just won an Emmy for Best Stunt Performance for the episode of Chapter 424, The Return.
Oh, nice.
Awesome.
Good deal. Are the Emmys on tonight?
Yeah.
I guess so.
Oh,
and yes, Lateef Crowder and JJ Dashnow. JJ is a good friend of the VCN. They just announced that they won. Brendan Wayne just put up a big post about it that Mandalorian won a stunt award at the Emmys, which is new. So it's fantastic they got it.
Oh,
Wow.
good. Good for them. # more awards for Star Wars.
Yeah.
# we could do this all day.
There you go.
Yes.
Boom. Well, Spencer and Melissa, thank you once again for joining us on our annual look back and look forward into fandom. You guys are just killing it when it comes to being positive forces and really moving forces up in fandom, no matter what it is. So thank you for doing that. Woo!
Thank you.
Thank you very much
Thanks
for having me.
us.
It's always a
Lots of
pleasure being on your show.
Shoutouts, Skywalker shoutouts. Which Skywalkers get props from here in Neverland? Who was tweeted out? Shout out. Who was photobombed? Shout out. Who was shared a post? Shout out.
It's a new year, and therefore we have some new shout outs for our Skywalking Force. Every month, at the very first episode of the month, we shout out all of you who are part of the Skywalking Force, which is our Patreon. Without you, this show cannot go on. So we want to give a huge, huge thank you to Anthony Kakias,
Blessed Cheesemaker,
Bryn McKinnon,
Carl Fox,
Chickafent,
Christopher Marino,
Courtney Turkel,
Dan Boris,
Darren Irvine,
Dave Kerwin,
Dawn Glover,
Garrett Sessions,
Glenn Stein,
Jennifer Cole,
Jeremy and Heather Hunt,
John Liang,
John Zancanaro,
Julie Caruana,
Julie Gildersleeve,
Cato Toby Ryder,
Kelly Turkel,
Laura Bryce,
Leanne Nelson,
Lisa Barry,
Meredith Duckworth,
Michael Corbett,
Michael Nip,
hey, Michael, Mike Ward,
Nancy Steinman,
Patrick Pine,
Patty Hammond,
Patty Nazarian,
Peter and Norma Heitman,
Reynold Gobey,
hey, Reynold, Scott Carmichael,
Scott Hume,
Terry Lee,
Wesley Meecombs,
and Wynn Patterson.
Hey, you did it.
I did. Hey, that's me, says Michael. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, Michael, for your support over the years. We could not express our appreciation enough.
And all of you watching. Reynold, too. Reynold's watching.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing, you guys. Amazing.
You're the ones who've been able to make this show go on for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you, and thank you.
Well, that wraps up episode 446 of
Skywalking Through Neverland.
We want to thank Spencer Jawitz and Melissa Truth Miller for coming on the show and taking on the task, the huge task of reviewing 2023. And all of you Skywalkers who comment, like, chat, watch our live streams, that is amazing. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Skywalking Through Neverland, to get notifications of when we go live. Now, are you interested in our books?
Apparently, yeah, because we've been getting a lot of orders because of that sale, and people have been emailing, telling us how much they appreciate all the work that went into the books.
That's awesome. Yeah, so these books, Today in Star Wars History, Part 1 and 2, and also Skywalking Through My Fandom, the interactive notebook, are available now from skywalkingthroughneverland.com/book. Now, would you like to support Skywalking Through Neverland like a lot of those that we named earlier? Well, you can support us through the Skywalking Force, which is our Patreon, and the Skywalking Force has access to bonus content in the form of Zoom discussions on the latest Disney Plus shows, and also you get a coupon code to use for our books, and much, much more. We have some surprise things popping up, and bonus content begins at only $5 a month. So head to skywalkingforce.com, have a look at the options available, and also we want to give a huge, huge thank you to those of you who are part of the Skywalking Force.
Now we want to thank our sponsor once again, Small World Vacations, for their support. Thinking of a trip to a Disney park? Well, you can fill out a Get a Quote form at smallworldvacations.com today. Their vacation planning service is free of charge, so check it out and tell them Skywalking Through Neverland sent you.
Now we are part of the Skywalking Network.
Skynet.
Where you can find other great shows like Talking Apes, the Max Effects Podcast, the Neverland Clubhouse, Totally Tell Me Everything, Star Warsologies, and the YouTube shows Collectopolis and Today in Star Wars History. I also have to note that Star Warsologies is having an offshoot show right now that just wrapped up called The Facts and the Furious, in which Melissa Miller went and did 10 episodes on all the Fast and Furious saga and the science behind them and things like that. So it was really fun. It's on the Star Warsologies podcast feed if you're a Fast and Furious fan. That's hard to say. All right. Well, on social media, you can keep in touch with us throughout the week and whenever you want. We are at Skywalking Pod for Instagram and all the other places that have social media. And you can find us on Facebook and YouTube. Just search Skywalking Through Neverland on either place. Also, we have some more 10th anniversary messages that we'd like to share, but we are running a little low and we'd love to have you. We'd love to play your message on the show. So you can record a voice memo, you can record a little video, and you can email that to share@skywalkingthroughneverland.com so we could play those on the show. Because this is our 10th year. This whole year is our 10th year.
Now, don't forget to stick around for bloopers and other fun bits that didn't make it into the show. And
always remember
to have a happy and safe new year.
And Neverland on Alderaan.
You're watching How I Met Your Mother. Can you go to the mall without singing Let's Go to the Mall? Have you gotten to that episode?
Oh,
yet?
yeah, of course I got that.
I cannot go to a mall without being like, let's go to the mall. From, yeah. No one else?
Yes. All right. Not Thunderdome. Thunder and God, whatever it was. But yeah.
Love and Thunder.
Love and Thunder.
Love and Thunder.
Okay, you're already too loud. So I turned it up for you, but now you went loud.
I'm afraid you're just too darn loud.
Hey, look at those names to the left. They are part of the Skywalking Force, our Patreon.
Become a producer yourself and check out all the Disney Plus themed bonus content available depending on the level you subscribe.
Become a member of the elite Skywalking Force at skywalkingforce.com.